Hello and welcome. As in the top right hand side, our blue Zerg player here is Dark. Excuse me, I hiccuped just as I said Dark. Dark! I was just like, Dark! Dark! Dark here in the top right hand side. Bottom left, our red Terran player is Cure, both from Dragon Phoenix Gaming here in the semi-finals of the first Kung Fu Cup in 2020. Hello everyone, this is probably going to go up on YouTube as well, unless this is some really terrible game somehow. So hello, like, comment, subscribe, you guys know the drill. And obviously, on Twitch. Hope you guys are having a great day enjoying the matches as we go into the second semi-final. Game one of it then, and Dark has had a pretty easy run through the bracket when it comes to kind of his scores. He has not dropped a map yet, taking down most notably Bunny, then Hurricane to get here. Kira has had a bit of a slightly tougher, I don't know, he took down Armani and Dream. Armani took down TY. This was this kind of more stacked section of the bracket. But I feel like Kure didn't do all of the hard work this time around. Definitely getting helped. But I say that, but actually, I mean, the solo section of the bracket was also like innovation and zest in people. So, anyways, lots going on up there in the bracket. For now, all we know is that this is Dark versus Kure, who will advance to that grand final. And these two new teammates. And we'll see if Kure can make it to his third Kung Fu Cup final since this cup started up again a couple weeks ago. Or if it's going to be Dark in the first cup he plays, kind of coming back and just going straight to the finals, which is kind of what we almost expect of him because he's just so good. As we do have SCV moving up towards the natural. It's a very fast Rotron here from Dark to set up aggressively in the game. So it's Gas Pool into Hatchery. And there's the SCV Scouts. This is where the Reaper will stay at home to deal with the early Zerglings. There's the... Sorry about that, guys. It's an email notification. Didn't realize my email was open. As he goes into the early Zerglings, the Reaper stays at home to deal with those. It means the Reaper is not across the map to scout the Rotron. So there's a timing where you basically want to commit the Reaper across the map anyways. Right? As this Reaper kind of, deals with the initial lings, the CC gets to finishing, you want to move that Reaper across because you would kind of like to see what's going on. You would kind of like to kind of get an idea, is it roaches or is it not? As Dark gets very aggressive. So, getting this set up, we're going to be seeing Ravager going to be on the way, and obviously he'll just morph in those Ravagers as he crosses. He's already going to start droning, so he's already setting up workers for the follow-up from this. Reaper coming across that. Reaper's going to miss the Roaches, but he'll get into the main and you'll see the Rotron, so that's already pretty good information. Lack of a third hatchery is also something of a tell, but of course it was both versus things will be a bit slower in that regard. Sees the Rotron, and now look at this from Kure. He's actually building a 2-1-1. So he's going 2-1-1, which is a bit of a weird opening, but he's already been building a Marauder, so it's almost like he had the idea it was happening anyways. He will just let the low ground fall, but the unit count that he has here is realistically going to be able to turn this away. Already putting good damage out on the first Ravager. Now a couple of these Zerglings going down as well. Overlord still pressing forwards down towards the main. Wouldn't mind burrowing up, and that'll stop anything coming up here too easily. We'll still lose the supply depots, and this is kind of the bare minimum we get with this Roach Ravager attack. But the thing is, from there, Kure's not going to be slowed down too much further. The fact he's got Stim will obviously open up counterattacks, being very dangerous for him in this game. Got all the battles going off the bunker, taking some hits, the orbital, flying back into the main, then as the starport about to finish up. CV's just continue to repair the bunker here, so the bunker will get repaired up. Nice little dodge of the Widowmine. With these Marauders, obviously, you can kind of target down the Roaches easily, but when they morph into a Ravager, you lose that bonus damage to the Armored, so also Dark can then morph the Ravagers to get the heal off of the Roaches. I think Q's kind of okay sitting here for the moment, just kind of waiting, because he doesn't want to overcommit. He wants to keep his units alive because his counterattack is where he's really hoping to deal damage. As Dark backs away, he'll take a Watchtower. So Overlord will go down. Dark slightly supply blocked. No hatchery readying up, no Overlord finishing. And if these units go across the map, and especially if they avoid the Watchtower and Dark's units aren't in position, it can be pretty great for QS. So as he relands the CC, he's down about 15 workers. Let's see what this attack does. Just misses one Marine. I mean, every second counts right now, so you've got to go with the Medivacs. Dark is going to pull the Roach Ravager home, morphing in some extra Roaches. Looks like he should be good to defend, but it's still, it's more than just this first push, right? There's combat shields on the way too. There's more units being made. there's more to this than what we're seeing right now. With the extra roaches being built up, Dark is somewhat slowing down his income. With the Marine Marauder pressing forwards up towards the top side, stabbing through, and Creep Tumor already going to go down. Roaches starting to drop, and well, you're going to see the Queen here. Very nearly going down, but enough units to defend this, so Dark doesn't take any damage at all on the counter. Very well played. Knew exactly when he had to bring his Roaches and Ravagers back home, basically. So Dark knew exactly what to do and when he had to do it there. And there's a job well done, as we see +1 attack coming in on the Engineering Bay. A few more Marines just hanging around on the front, and there go some of these Marines and Marauders dropping down. And start pressing in towards a couple of Creep Tumors here. So there's still advantages in this game for Kua. You know, he's denying the creep spread very nicely, so Dark is not getting a lot of activity on the map. He doesn't have third CC, mind you, so he might just be looking to stay aggressive unless he goes for a very late third. The way he's setting up this secondary wall across the front of the natural sort of says to me that he might just go and not stop. Because I feel like if you're going to go and, if you're going to play kind of a 3-base play, why wall off here? Instead of just, I mean, maybe you don't start walling off over here already, but, you know, it just doesn't make sense. And the single Engineering Bay is also a real telltale sign of aggression in TVZ. Pretty much any macro TVZ build will get double Engineering Bay. Even if it's been off of an aggressive opener, you still go double Engineering Bay. It just works so well for you. And it usually fits into the builds very nicely. There's a couple of tanks show up. Let's see what Kua can do. He might go across this side. There's some very good positions here where the tanks will then start to reach the natural. Obviously wants to be careful, those tanks aren't too far forward so they can't get close to bow too easily. Especially up here, you're going to see Dark. Most of the Ravagers from the left-hand side, there is 3 of them, but if they can get in range to cross about the tank, that's going to be the question. Right now, the Roach is getting blown up by that tank fire, so a good little position from Kua. I like this attack, he's going to kill an Overlord, brings Dark a little bit lower in terms of the free supply that he has, and more cross battles. He needs to move out of those, and he does move out of them. Some Ravagers just morphed in on the right-hand side. It will cost him a Ravager, but he kills a siege tank. So one of the tanks now down, and that obviously really kind of depowers this push from Kua. You at home only just how has one more tank finishing. Did start a third CC, and is starting as well to go in towards the extra ranks too, so he will kind of transition from this. But he is really reliant on this initial push, dealing some damage, and he's trading well, don't get me wrong. You know, Dark's down 1.3k in resources lost, but Dark's also mining much more comfortably in the game. Look at that income lead. So I'm just not sure that this is enough damage done from Kua to really do enough here. And to get him back into this. I mean, let's see what these 2 medevacs to the left-hand side do. And he's finally able to start kind of taking Dark in a couple of different directions. But at the same time, he's just been cleaned up on the right. Dark will have to go respond on the left as units will start to drop out. I don't think it's worth sieging up the tank. It's going to be pretty close. I think he will get the hatchery. So 4th hatchery will be denied. Doesn't lose anything at all in the process, so not bad for Q, and he'll set up the drop potentially to the main. You see Dark setting up a Spire, a Spore Crawler, trying to get some defense in that main base, trying to stop this drop, but he realizes that might become a problem for him. The Spire just maybe going towards some Corruptors here, trying to shut down these medevacs as well, if he wants to kind of continue playing like Road Driver Corruptor. That, or he might transition into Mutas and eventually maybe Mutaling Bane, but that would be kind of a surprising route, I would say, overall. Medevac still just boosting away up the top side then, so for the moment they're going to escape away, for the moment they're going to survive. Dark just double expanding and saying, well, I'll get one of these bases up, which is probably true. There's the Bane nest, so it looks like we might just get a bit of Ling Bane Muta action going. Depends what he really feels is the best option in terms of the Spire. He might still decide Corruptors, or a better way to go about this is a little bit of trading here, not too much. This big drop along the right side, though. Again, Dark really missing vision on the map. Creep spread isn't there. You know, very limited in terms of amount of overlords he has. And it's going to be this drop. I mean, it's very committed. There's not really any getting out with this. He's going to get sieged into the back of the mineral line. It's a tough position to push into because the Roaches are going to have to come through choke points, which means the tank fire is going to do a lot. He very narrowly gets the hatchery, but there's more transfusions available, so I think he's going to be very careful not going into the, diving on the hatchery too hard. As Kyo lifts up to get out, there's going to be intercepted by the Mutalisk, so he's going to lose another full medevac. He actually lost 1 medevac to Corrosive Valves, he lost another to the Queens, And now the Mutas finish off the last couple. Nothing really escapes from this. These last two Marauders being chased down. And suddenly you see Dark maxed out more or less against 110 supply. Cure, well, Dark should have a push sometime soon that will look to end this. He might not go until he gets Baneling speed up or so. Minute and 20 seconds until that would finish if he started it now. But he might just go anyways, right? Because he is maxed out. He doesn't necessarily need the Banelings here. So he's also going to be on +2 Carapace, so he'll actually have a little bit of an upgrade lead. He went +1 melee, +2 Carapace after the initial missile upgrades. With the Mutalisk as well, he's going to start pulling Cure around. Cure might have to invest in some anti-air defense and missile turrets, which will obviously slow down his unit production as well. Very well played game from Dark. From the early stages, kind of obviously knew what he wanted to do. And from there, I actually really liked everything that Cure did. But Dark just had the right response time and time again with so much economy. Even when he started to trade a bit badly in some of those scenarios, it just didn't really matter. Dark's going to just, well, completely push his way up. He's going to kill the Engineering Bay and then back off, freeing up some of the roach supply and instead replacing it with more Mutalisks and Zerglings. He's actually got Burrow on the way. We'll see how he tries to utilize that. Dark is a player who, now and again, will decide to go in towards the Burrowed Banes. This is going to be 14 workers killed from the Banes running into that third base. So, again, just more and more damage being done here by Dark. So much damage being done. What are you meant to do at this stage as Cure? Well, probably start thinking about game number 2. That's what I'd be doing. Putting this one behind you, and as you play this out, just thinking, well, what do I change before I get into the second map of this series? Obviously, it's kind of tough. It's kind of tough, it's also kind of easy, right? Because it's like, well, I fell behind to the Roach attack, obviously. And he defended very well after that. So what do you do against the Roach attack if he does it again? Or, you know, what do you think of doing next game if you don't get attacked early, if you get to go into your macro game of choice? Important decisions, because obviously you lose this, you're out of the tournament, although you still would walk away with $50 for top 4. Mutalisks running around, and still the Bio Army pulling away a little bit as well. Marino 2 showing up, and Muta's taking some damage. You see the Bane still pressing forwards. Throws the bars across the front here, missing the Marines and Marauders. I mean, it's kind of one last push from Cure. Problem is, even if you trade well here as Cure, you're still not mining anywhere near as much as Dark is. So Dark's reinforcements should just stream through this army. 72 Zerglings on the way. And I mean, yeah, the Bane's not having Baneling speed is definitely making him not trade as well as he should be. So it makes this, you know, attack of Cure look like Cure's got a lot more life in him than he really does. Morphing in some Banes now. They will have Bane speed. The Ling number is just getting crazy. Cure's not really able to reinforce this army properly. And as the Mutas fly in as well, it just means everything is going to be going down. Cure will attempt to retreat. But Dark will probably deny this planetary fortress, which means that Cure gets kept on 3 bases. When Cure's only on 3 bases, again, you just cannot contend with the, you know, production of Dark. Dark doesn't even have to deny the base. He just keeps killing off the units as they spawn out. Cure will type GG to give Dark game 1 of this best of 3. Of course, if you're really enjoying, it's been a bit of a quiet day when it's come to bits and subs and donations and stuff, but if you are enjoying, do consider supporting. It goes a long way to help us keep on pushing out the content. Bottom right hand side, up a game, our Blue Zerg player. Hopefully I say his name correctly this time round. It is Dark from Dark Phoenix. It's Dragon Phoenix Gaming. You know what it is? Because Dark was the first player to join DPG. Every time I say it, I always want to go Dark Phoenix Gaming, not Dragon Phoenix Gaming. I actually think Dark Phoenix Gaming sounds cooler, but yeah, I mean, I guess then you've got Dark on your team. Just me getting a bit messed up in my mind. Also on Dragon Phoenix Gaming, the red Terran in the top left-hand side is Cure. Can he bounce back in game number 2? Because obviously, he really was just shut down time and time again there, and while he made a lot of decent plays to try and stay in it, it really just was not enough. Overlord pressing up through the center. You're going to see a spawning pool dropping down in the main. Is this the real Dark? Yes, this is the real Dark. These Kung Fu Cups really bring out pretty much everybody in Korea. We even had Maori playing in one of them this season. SOS. Dar, we've had... I actually don't know if there's like a top Korean player that hasn't played. Probably Stats, if I had to pick one off the top of my head. I feel like Stats is the only player we've really not seen playing in these cups since they returned. Stats did play in a few of them. He's won one in the past. He's had a couple of round of 4 finishes. But Stats goes on kind of big breaks from online cups where he just is like, you know what? I just don't fancy playing for the next little while. Let's see, we're just coming up, passing by the Watchtower factory. Coming up in the main base as we do see the bunker dropping down in the front of the natural command center. Building up here as well. Going to be seeing a second refinery dropping down in the main base. And again, the Ling just scouting around early. Not much going on here. Maybe we'll see something like a battle cruiser build. I mean, you got to consider the battle cruisers have been kind of the go-to and the successful way to play TVZ lately. So maybe that's what he goes to now against Dark. But Cure earlier against Armani showed us that he was kind of preferring to play Bio. So is he going to go Battle Cruiser into Bio? Or again, does he just not go Battle Cruiser at all? Starport on the way up. Getting that started is down on this side. We do see, well, not much going on. Reaper actually going to be chased away by the couple of Zerglings. So he's going to be able to chase that down, pick that Reaper off. 5 more drones on the way out, and again, just Starport coming through here. That's going to be finishing up shortly. Factory moving into the main base. And he's again just able to clean up that Zergling, so a little bit of a cleanup, nothing too crazy. Now 4 more drones on the way out. So let's start in the main base. It's still a pretty quick level. See, Banshee is the choice from Q going into the 3cc behind it. Pretty fast third base off the Banshee then. Yeah, just intrigued to see what the lair is for from Dark. See if he wants some early tech, maybe some aggressive potential as well, though without Rotoron up, what you're really going to do, like maybe Rotoron Nidus at the same time. It's not early enough for that, so I think it's just a lair to try and set up at a point of kind of making sure you can get Bane speed up and running. Yeah, nothing too crazy then, I don't think. Couple Lings running around this left side bunker in the front, and again, Cloak coming up on the starport, getting that ready to go. And 2 extra barracks dropping down from Cura in this main base as well. There is the Banshee of Cura just heading its way down to the bottom side of the map. This Banshee all the way down to the south. And we'll see again a few more Zerglings starting up, an extra couple of drones building. Queen's able to intercept this Banshee immediately though. Great sense from Dark. I think he saw the Lings here, so he had an idea it was coming in. I mean, just puts himself in the perfect position. So first Banshee doesn't even get to fire. Just deflected already. I mean, obviously you pull it back pretty quickly here as Cure. He did cancel the cloaks. He's only going to build 1 Banshee. Wasn't scouted, so interesting that he decides just to cancel that. Maybe just feels there isn't much need for it. And he is going to play Bio. That Stimpak's about to finish. The 1-1 upgrades are coming through. So Bio, not Mech. It's going to be Q's choice. I feel like it's a brave choice because, I mean, I feel like Dark is just a terrifying opponent in ZvT. And I feel like when you're playing someone who's very, very, very good, Mech generally tends to be a little bit better. But hey, let's see what Q does. It is Triton. It's a pretty regular map when it comes to kind of pushing and attacking. It's not like overly easy for the Zerg to defend their bases. You know, there's definitely pushing potential for the Terran, which is very important to make Bio successful. It's not like Eternal Empire, which I know Q played Bio in that last map as well, but Eternal Empire does feel very difficult to make Bio work on because the Zerg just had, you know, there's very few positions to really take advantage of as the Terran. Pushing across the map isn't quick or easy because it's just a larger map in general. Let's see what Q can do with these first 2 medevacs. One of the things already going much better for Dark this game, of course, because of the different setup, is his creep spread is already just, you know, a creep tumor or 2 in front of each base. And that's going to be one of the main things Q looks to deny here as he presses forwards, gets that active tumor as it spreads, and, well, the rest of these creep tumors going down anyways. So, there's a little bit of cleanup in the center. We'll now move to the right-hand side, maybe look to pick off some of this creep. This is probably the more important location because it's the more forward base, this 4. And so it's the base you generally send your units towards with the larger push, rather than trying to push down this alleyway of doom in towards the third. And I say alleyway of doom because you put yourself here and you're kind of trapped as the Terran if the Zerg flanks in on you. You know, there's not a guaranteed escape, whereas out here there's generally more ways to kind of get out of trouble if you need to. Marines will find a little bit of lane bane pressing forwards, and you're a little bit slow to lift up some of those Marines. Costs them about 7 or 8 of them. So those Banes able to connect and doing a good job with that. 2-2 upgrades now coming in from Kira as well, as Marines and a Banshee picking off 2 Zerglings on the left side. 2 Zerglings hanging out on the watchtowers. We do have the Marines going to press in, and this hatchery going to take quite a lot of damage here right away. So hatchery taking some damage. Will go down. Drone will cancel. Rebuilds now. Crawlings in the center trying to come in for the bit of a surround as well, but Marines are just going to be able to lift up and get out of there. So far, so good. And Secure will be able to, again, just apply a bit of pressure, and Dark trading well against it. You're taking advantage of the fact he has +1/+1 against 0/0 as well. It's an upgrade lead that will continue as he's already started 2-2. Look at Dark, just straight into Hive, just playing the Ling Bane, straight to Hive, not going to mess around with any kind of, you know, lair tech units. Kira's trading really well so far, but this Banes will maybe change that up a little bit. You're still escaping away as he has some Marines out here. Finds another active creep team. We're really trying to slow this creep down any way he can. Yeah, just to bring up resources lost for a moment, you can see 2.5k to 1.1k. Kira is again trading really well, and this time, Dark doesn't have that ridiculous advantage of income that we saw in the last game either. So, looking way better for Kira, but he is going to have to start playing later game here very quickly because Dark is actually setting up into, interestingly, Vipers initially. So he wants to set up the Vipers to help him defend against the tanks. And he's going to now start moving in towards Ultralisks as well as he's just prioritizing the Vipers was just a bit of a surprise to me. Didn't feel like he needed those. I mean, maybe, like, you know, get the Ultralisk Cavern and then Vipers. I was just surprised to see 3 Vipers initially, and then the Ultralisk Cavern come down. Obviously, was a bit more what I was expecting right away. Those Banes kind of crashing through, but again, a decent trade from Kira. Still trading very well here as he gets even more creep spread, pulling up a few more units. I'm just going to be pulling back up to the top left, and again, with the Ultralisk Cavern coming down, we're probably expecting to see a few Liberators having to come out here. Probably then move in towards Ghosts. I mean, Liberators are easy to get to initially, but then as you kind of get a few libs up, Ghosts are going to be kind of the proper response, because Ghosts really cover you kind of very solidly throughout all of the tech units that the Zerg can build. Don't actually see any Ultras being built just yet, as Widowmines with drilling floors burrow up. Drop down the left-hand side, but guess what? Dark is there as well. Dark is just everywhere, that's the issue. He is very good at not being caught off guard, not being pulled apart. There's also a drop over here from Kira that Dark sees. Guess what? Dark has units already set to respond. It's actually just so impressive. He kills off this medevac of units. And these Marines here need to be a little bit careful, trading a little bit haphazardly. Still a Banshee from Kira that was out from early in the game, but what do you actually do with a Banshee like that? Well, it's kind of tough to find a use for it. Spore crawlers in each base. Maybe this base actually, there's drones here and there's no queen. The queen's out to the left-hand side. I mean, that's the issue because it doesn't have cloak, right? It's not just no spore crawl. You actually just need there to be no queen there to be successful. Medevac still down the bottom, as we'll see. Feeling is kind of pushing up, and we're going to be seeing the Marines going to unload towards the hatchery over here. So a couple of drones going down. There's Ultralisk taking some damage as well. Widowmines will burrow, and well, I don't think the Ultra will survive the Widowmine shots despite the transfusions. A few drones going down. Nice little play from Kira here. He's still trading, by the way. Widowmine at the end there, picking up some big kills. How many was that? 34 kill Widowmine. Okay, well, Kira still not doing so bad, huh? About twice as efficient as Dark, coming up to at 5.1 versus 9k lost. Again, Kira's not really teching up though, which kind of concerns me, but then again, neither is Dark. Dark's only got a couple of Ultras. You don't necessarily need, as those Widowmines go huge, again, 15, 12, 11, 12, 6 kills. You don't necessarily need to kind of tech up if Dark is only having 1 or 2 Ultras in the army, right? If Dark had like 5 or 6 Ultras, then you maybe really need Liberators. But the stand's not as desperate for that, as Parasitic Bombs will force these medevacs to split. stops them from lifting up. But now a larger play from Cure down the right-hand side. Going to get some creep tumors as he goes, and then we'll end up on this base with a couple of spine calls to buy time. Enough time for Dark to get over here. So Dark, well, actually going to give it up, huh? Just backs away, says doesn't have enough. He's going to regather. Maybe he was waiting for the banelings. But that probably gives Cure the time to get rid of this hatchery. So hatchery will fall. Cure will have to just lift and leave up that right-hand side. Some Widow Mines in the center, still active. They're picking up a good few extra kills there. So the Ling Bane just, whatever it was running through, probably Lings. Just didn't realize it. Dark knows about it now, it seems. Sending a few units here. Missing the Overseer finally shows up. We'll clean that up. There's another push from Cure down the left-hand side, and Cure will just not let go of these attacks. Dark missing Kite display, and one of the reasons those Ultras haven't looked super great so far. Also getting into 3-3 upgrades, so missing that against the 3-3 of the Terran. Really one of the reasons Cure is still able to make this style work for the moment. Problem is, I mean, as he keeps on fighting, is he doing enough? Widow Mines picking up some drones here and there, but again, if we look at the income graph, well, it's starting to go back in Cure's favor a little bit. Picking off this base on the right side has definitely helped. But he's been trading very well, so, I mean, if you can keep it up now, sure, but it's going to get harder and harder. Corruptors coming out, so these medevacks are less likely to get away each time. The Widow Mines over here, the Dark is still yet to deal with. By the way, Dark, one of the only players who uses this Ultralisk skin. It is the... I mean, it really is. It's like a whole new beast, isn't it? Yeah, he's one of the only players that still uses that, as you see these Lings and Banes pressing in for a little bit of a surround, and again, Cure going to have to lift and lead. He's still trading decently, and Dark's bank is not really there. Dark actually with absolutely nothing in the bank at the moment. He's desperately trying to stay maxed out. And has he just stayed on Ling Bane for a bit too long? Definitely would be the immediate kind of reaction to this if he loses this game. A lot of change in this here as Cure will start to attack down a few of them. He's going to be able to pick off the rocks there. There's a couple of Widow Mines burrowing up. Widow Mines on Ultras actually do very well usually. And those Ultras, at least now has the upgrade, so it's a little bit tankier. Tell you what is missing. Dark only has 3 upgrades for the melee units. I'm surprised we don't see any air upgrades or anything yet. And I think that's just a testament to how he's been a little bit lackluster in terms of anything else other than Ling Bane this game. He has been building some corruptors, he's been putting good use into them, but, some upgrades on those would not go amiss. Cure, guess what, is down the bottom right-hand side again, this space. Well, a few Lings are running into defenders will not do too great, so the Hatchery will start to take some damage at the very least. Cure's traded very well against it already. Hatchery will take some more shots. Lings finally getting here in good enough numbers to maybe make this work. Mutants are going to get behind the mineral line, so the Lings will go down. The Queen's show up, though, so the Hatchery will not die. It's Dark is paying attention to transfuse those Queens up, so Cure currently just trying to bait out as many transfusions as possible. We'll take the chance to hit on the left-hand side as well, and I'll tell you what, Cure's supply is just up there. 185 to 153, and I think eventually it's just going to break Dark down, especially because Dark is just losing mining time and time again. Widow Mines helping to pick off some of these Corruptors. Cure doesn't even have medevacs in the sky for these drops. He's just got, for these pushes, because they keep getting killed. But hey, for the moment it is working. For the moment it is working out. There's GCI Bio pulling back up the left-hand side. A bit more Bio from Cure. Going over the right-hand side. The Mines burrowing up, and we're just going to be seeing the lava getting blown up over there as well. Bit more Bio pushing through, and Lings and Banes coming in also. Another Widow Mine or two going off. Those Ultras just taking a beating already. Well, this time maybe enough units to actually push this Bio Force away, and he's pushed the units away on the left side as well. Dark has somehow brought it back in terms of supply, but Cure still is the player with the bank, and that's one of the big differences here as well. Widow Mine going off and picking off 8 more drones as it was just left behind in the base. I tell you what, Cure has been trying to kill Dark for like 13 minutes it feels like. But yeah, 10 minutes at least, and it's finally paying off for him. Just little by little, consistently good trades throughout the game, consistently finding a way to deny economy. And again, finally paying off for him as this Ultras is being kept alive by the Queen transfusions, but again, they don't have energy forever. It may seem like it right now, but there's that Ultras now going down, and Dark is back down, low on supply, just can't trade well enough with the rest of this year. As these queens going down, a few more of those marauders getting picked off. Corruptor 2 extra going down as well as Widowmines continue to push forwards. Another Widowmine being picked off, picking off some Zerglings. Cure just has way too much, and what a fantastic series. Two very different games. This is going to go to a game 3 as well, which is also awesome. Cure making Bio work against one of the very best in the world. GG's, and ties it up 1-1. Underway. I actually just had to pop off to get myself a drink, otherwise we would have come back even sooner. Bottom left, blue Zerg not quite able to break through the Terran there. It is Dark. He opens Gas and Pool in this game number 3. On the top right hand side, our red Terran is going to be Cure. Setting up. So, Command Center here just setting up and pushing out a few SCVs. Reaper on the way out from Cure as well, as you're just going to be seeing the hatchery from Dark finally dropping down. Dark is really good at these mind games. I mean, I throw it back to Dark versus TY in the WSG qualifiers. Dark opened pool first 4 games in a row, before finally the 4th game he kind of created an all-in out of it. Just going to be seeing the SCV continuing down to the bottom left. SCV going to be moving in towards the main base. Bulling's going to turn that away pretty quickly. Rocharon dropping in from Dark in the back of the main as well. So he is not, it's not a mind game. This is actually just straight up, he is going to commit to that aggression. This time though, I tell you what, the Reaper, he might keep going across the map, because last time Dark didn't get aggressive with the initial Zerglings. So scouting this earlier from Cure will maybe give him a bit of a better response. He's going second barracks again, so maybe he still likes the idea of the 2-1-1 against us perhaps. Interesting. Let's see as he scout. I mean, he sees the gas already, and that might be tell enough. Seeing that the gas is still mining, knowing that there's already more than 100 gas mined, low link speed started. I think it's enough information. So Q will immediately start up the bunker. It's kind of a far back bunker, right? There's one, if it depends where you attack as Dark, but you'd imagine most units will come from this side. But I don't think as Q you're afraid to kind of take some hits on the CC if you can pull it back and keep it safe. But you also want that bunker to be in a very safe position too overall. I wonder if instead as he goes into a 3rd racks. Interesting. Secure this time, instead of building a factory or anything and going in towards what was it last time? Medivacs and so on. He's actually just going to go straight towards a 3rd rack, so he might just go for kind of sheer number of units here to try make this work. Well, there's the Roaches and Ravagers coming across. It's going to be only 4 this time, right? Am I crazy? Or 4 or 5 this time around. So last time I think it was 6 or 7. So it's a little less commitment from Dark this time. There's this bunker already up. It might be something to do with obviously already being seen preemptively. CVs are going to pull in to repair, prepare to repair. Hey, this Marauder can get some good shots off on those Roaches, mind you. But obviously, Dark going to try and push in up the ramp. Honestly, there's a good amount of units here. This first Ravager is a little bit stuck and now getting surrounded. SCVs are going to pull in to help as well, and well, Cure's going to clean this up much more easily than last time. Doesn't have to move the CC away, and Dark will lose this army. How much does he get done? I would have liked to see Cure save that Marauder. How much does he get done? Well, kills 3 SCVs, kills 1 Marauder, 4 Marines, the Reaper. Resources lost in favor of Cure. It's a good defense, and he obviously comes out in a good spot because he hasn't lost too much mining time or anything. Now with triple racks, he's going to have a lot of units to counterattack with as well. A lot of units to counterattack with, so that should get pretty interesting too. Well, as we see the 3rd hatchery dropping down here from Dark on the left-hand side, getting that set up. Just going to be seeing the extra supply depot in the front as well. Have the engineering bay coming in the back of the main. We're still just coming across as we do see the supply depot dropping down. The units gathering up, ready to push the 3rd base. As +1 attack starts up on the engineering bay, and Again, Stim pack coming up here. It's going to be done soon. I think you want to wait for Stim before you actually commit into this. Nice scan kills off this Overlord. Dark has only got 4 roaches and a few Zerglings. Without Stim pack, I actually don't feel like this army is very scary, but backing away looks okay. Remember, these Lings are not with speed, so they're not very fast. Kira without Stim, though, really is just not doing very much damage very quickly, huh? It looks as though Dark will defend with those low number of units, able to keep this alive. A few more Marines gathering up then in between the bases here, and just going to be seeing combat shields on the way up, +1 attack upgrade on the engineering bay. Combat shields coming up too. Running from the right hand side, Reaper drops, and Queen going to get popped up into the sky. Lings looking for a surround, but can't quite get there. And there's still a lot of bio coming across. The numbers really are rising up pretty quickly now. So those numbers are getting a little bit higher. I've got the command center here going to be starting up, so CC getting rolling. Medivacs down the bottom, and again, just a couple of Marines able to pick off that Zergling, so Zergling going to get picked off there pretty quickly. Introduce CC, Shank, combat shields, +1 attack, all of this still coming through. The Reaper able to pick off one of the drones already, and another drone taking quite a bit of damage. Queens and Lings able to run in and pick that off. Two Overlords hanging out over the left-hand side. Bane Nest going to be finishing shortly as well. There's a drop into the main base. Pure getting aggressive here. You're going to see those Zerglings getting a wrap around. Pure for +1 attack in play already, definitely helping him out. But Dark's on his way towards +1 carapace. Being kept on a pretty low drone count at the moment. 58 is nothing astounding, right? Skira will move out to a forward third base. He's actually going to push that one onto the low ground. Starting up some extra racks as well. He's actually mined out these minerals so you can open up the path to that third base a bit more easily. So that's where Kira is at right now. Seeing that Zergling darting backwards and forwards there. Still the Ling Ravager here from Dark, moving around too. Pressing forward is going to pick off a Marine pretty easily, pretty quickly. Bane Speed still coming up. Overlord gets taken down, and now there's Queen being chased. First Queen already dropping. He's going to get a kill on the Spire. Stops Dark's tech from building up, and also, I mean, 200 that he doesn't get back. No cancel there from Dark, so Kira makes another nice play into that main. But now 2 more Medivacs going to boost along the top side here. Tank sieging up. Racks are finishing, +1 melee on the way out. Bailing's speed going to complete soon. The rebuild on the Spire here from Dark, so again, just Kira slowing that down. Making it a little bit longer until Dog gets, truly into the full setup he wants to play with. And Kira, he's already set to hit the 4th base, but Dog's so ready for it. He knows this is the next position Kira's going to try and strike on. No creep spread here, which hurts a little bit, and while Dog's just going to instantly cancel that base. Feeling's going down. Kira will just back away, staying away from most of the Ravager shots. In the end, lifts up. He's got a few Marines over here that are moving around a bit as well, and his Ling's coming to surround. He'll have to lift, but maybe it's time for this drop to come back in. Natural and protected. There's nothing in the main base. There's definitely openings. As Kira is just really pulling Dark apart with drops. Now, obviously, as the Spire comes online, you get to a stage where that doesn't, really matter as much. As we're going to be seeing the extra racks dropping down. Let's continue to gather up here, and again, Bio Army continuing over to the left. Hatchery. Looking great right now, as you can see, extra Banelings morphing in from Dark. And this hatchery is going to get taken down once more, so still no 4th base allowed. On the bottom side, there's a hatchery that's coming up. This one might just be the 4th base that Dark has to settle for here. Either way, neither of these bases have very good creep spread in front of them. So yeah, there's good creep spread joining them up, but in front of them, where you're going to stop the Terran attack coming towards, not so much. More and more racks from Kira, by the way. And this is up to 8 barracks now, so really building up aggressively. Wants to keep the momentum rolling rather than building into a 4th command center. He's just going to keep this going. This one melee finally finishing up. Kira has already on his way towards 2-2. Dark still only on 1 upgrade at a time here. I mean, he needs to start up that +2 melee shortly. He does have double evil chamber. He was upgrading +1 melee and +2 carapace, but not immediately into +2 melee. Maybe because he's got other issues. This attack from Kira pressing up the ramp here. Lings and Bane's pressing forwards and going to chase this bio back down. Tanks firing and cleaning up a lot. I actually just don't think Dark has the numbers he needs to really clean this up, especially when these Marauders are in the front looking to tank the Baneling shots. More Zerglings running forwards here as well. Tanks might want to unsiege and press forwards as extra Banelings still dropping down. It's not looking good, is it? We see this Queen going to get picked off as well. Just going to see the rest of these Queens going down. Extra Bane's about to finish up, but you're already losing so much before this happens, and honestly, Q could bring his tanks a bit further forwards. There is Mutalisks across the map, so a play from Dark that might keep him in the game for the moment as he trails in supply. Q brings a couple of Marines down the ramp, and I mean, even these Marines are standing up against these Mutalisks way longer than it feels they should. Here's the kill. 3 SCVs so far. Well, needs a bit more than that still, right? But at least Dark is doing something. I mean, it's starting to add up a little bit further. He still hasn't lost a Mutalisk. He'll still get more SCVs. And for the moment, Q is distracted enough to not keep trading with those units over here, which has been one of the big parts of why Q was doing so well. He was just fully focused on Nightcrawler in this army. Now, has to, stops that for a moment and gives Dark the chance to build up some extra numbers. Here we go, Dark going to push on through. I mean, he has to break this position as he goes in towards the tanks. Marines pulling back and trying to survive at the back there. All of the tanks will go down. Q intercepts the Mutalisks on their way back home as well. Reinforcements coming over after dealing with the Mutas. No splash damage anymore, though, and that's going to be Q's new problem perhaps, but he's up 45 army supplies, so does it matter? Can he just overrun with the bio units here? I think he might be able to. Bio pressing through, Zergling's being picked away at. A few extra Marines showing up. This Ling Bane army still trying to press on forwards. The Baneling's already going down. I mean, the Spire's going to be in a lot of trouble. Extra Zergling's being picked away at here. Baneling on 2 still pressing through. It looks as though this is probably going to be pretty much over. As these last few Banelings get picked away at, you're going to see those Corsive Bards dropping down. There's the GG from Dark. Cure is going to take game number 3 of this best of 3 series. Cure takes Dark down in the semifinals, advances to the finals. What great play from Cure. Really was not expecting this, especially with Bio.